Now see the structure of the blastocyst. In a blastocyst, this trophoblast cells becomes flattened, and there is a cavity in the blastocyst. This cavity is known as the blastocoel, and this cavity contains the uterine fluid. Now the inner cell mass, it is separated from the trophoblast and is attached to one side, one pole only of trophoblast. Now there are two poles, embryonic poles and abembryonic pole. The embryonic pole, the pole of the trophoblast to which inner cell mass is attached, it is the embryonic pole, while the opposite pole is the abembryonic pole. Now these are the two front view and the lateral view of the embryoblast. In the embryoblast, this is the blastocyst. It is the front and this is the lateral view. In the front view, the zona pellucida is still present, the green layer. Now this peripheral cells, this is the trophoblast cells. These trophoblast cells, when the cavity enlarges, these trophoblast cells becomes flattened, and this is the inner cell mass, and this inner cell mass, that is the embryoblast, we see attached to the one pole, and this is the embryonic pole, animal pole, while the opposite side, this is the abembryonic pole, and this is the complete mature blastocyst. And this blastocyst is formed on the 4th to 5th day of the fertilization. Now in this diagram, the zona pellucida has disappeared, and this zona pellucida disappears on the 4th to 5th day of the fertilization. Means on 4th to 5th day of the fertilization, there are two changes. It is the formation of the blastocyst and disappearance of this zona pellucida. So after the cleavage, we see there is a formation of the morula, the zygote, fertilized ovum change into the morula change into the blastocyst, and there is a disappearance of this zona pellucida, and this cavity is known as the cavity of the blastocyst or blastocoel. Now some features of these trophoblast cells. These trophoblast cells that in future participate in the formation of the placenta. This trophoblast cells has the property to stick uterine epithelium or other epithelium to which they come in contact. They stick to that epithelium. Now these cells of the trophoblast has the capacity or property to eat up the other cells. It is the property of the cells of the trophoblast to eat up the other cells, as a result of which they invade and erode into the tissue to which they come in contact. When these trophoblast cells come in contact with the other tissue, they start invading and eroding. This abnormal invasion and the erosion is prevented by zona pellucida. So it is another important function of the zona pellucida, and that is why zona pellucida is present until the product of conceptus reaches the normal site of the implantation, that is the uterine cavity. If this zona pellucida disappears early, this leads to the ectopic implantation. Ectopic implantation of the blastocyst, and which leads to the ectopic pregnancy. So this is the another function of this zona pellucida, and this zona pellucida disappears at 4th to 5th day after fertilization. It disappears when the blastocyst reaches the normal site of the implantation. Now the next, it is the implantation. What is implantation? It is a process of the penetration of product of the conceptus. Product of conceptus means it is the blastocyst to uterine endometrium. This is known as the implantation, and this implantation begins on 6th to 7th day after the fertilization. Means at the end of the first week of development, the implantation starts and is completed on the 12th day. The blastocyst enters into the uterine endometrium, invaded the uterine endometrium. Now, in humans, the implantation occurs in the uterine endometrium. Uterine endometrium. And so, it is called the interstitial implantation. It is an example of the interstitial implantation, because it occurs into the uterine endometrium. Now in this diagram, if you see, it is the complete cycle from ovulation up to the implantation of the blastocyst. This is the fallopian tube, and here it is the ampulla where the fertilizations occurs. After fertilization, it is the zygote. Then this zygote undergoes the cleavage, as well as it will start moving towards the cavity of the uterus. And there are two factors that play a role in this movement. One is the ciliated epithelium of the fallopian tube, that is beating towards the lumen of the uterine cavity, and the second, it is the contraction of the fallopian tube. And this structures moves towards the normal site of the implantation, that is the upper part of the body of the uterus in mid-sagittal plane. Most common is the posterior wall, but may also occur in the anterior wall of the body of the uterus. Now, it is the formation of the morula and then cyst, blastocyst, and this blastocyst enters the uterine cavity. So this is the normal implantation. Now, in this diagram, in this next diagram, it is the abnormal implantation. The implantation may occur in the ovary or may occur in the parts of the fallopian tube. This occurs in the lower part of the uterine segment, that is the region of the internal os, and may block the internal os, that is known as the placenta previa. These are the intrauterine implantation. Now this implantation may occur in the extrauterine. This is the mesentery. This is the mesentery. The implantation may also occur in the rectouterine pouch of the Douglas. So this is the abnormal ectopic implantation, and this leads to the ectopic pregnancy. And in this diagram, it is the various sites shown of the ectopic implantation.